Sienna, who's the daughter who's in my life, when I left her mom this last time, that I was going to stay in the town and I was going to be with her as much as I possibly could and help raise her. And I have been. I pick her up from daycare every day. Um, and her mom, we work together well as best as we can. And, you know, it's still tough. Um, she has every right to be upset with me, but a part of this journey that I'm on is fixing myself. And if I can't be what you need me to be and you can't be what I need you to be, and I think we both came into this uh sort of not what's the word I'm looking for? Not like I think the way that I looked at it when I got together with her is that she fit financially what I wanted in somebody else. Um, she made more money than I did, but as I progressed through my career, I probably earned about the same hourly. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I make more hourly, but just the amount that I work makes me make less money than her. But still, I mean, in California, it's so expensive here that two people making 100, low hundreds. It's kind of what you need to be able to survive and not just live to work. With a dual income, you can easily work to live. But like I said, it wasn't. She wasn't what I was. What I normally went for body type. And I thought to myself, well, she's still cute in the face, so she could lose the weight. And so what I was getting involved in this relationship was my idea of what I wanted her to be. Not, I want to be with you for all of what you are. It was all of what I thought I could change you into being. And I think she kind of did the same thing. At least it felt like it. There was other things that I thought too, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. Maybe we'll get into it at some point down the road. But, like I said, I jumped somewhere else and I lost my train of thought. So I'm an advocate for marijuana because it's helped me immensely. I haven't touched meth since 2010. I don't do any other drugs other than I'll smoke some pot and I'll take some edibles. And it really helps me out. It makes me a nicer person. I engage with my daughter 100%. I have so much fun with when I'm with her. It just, for me, I'm a fan, and I think it's been lied about long enough, and I think we should start making everybody a fan. I'd much rather conversate, commune, live amongst more people that smoke marijuana than drink. So, which kind of leads me sort of to why do I want to do a podcast? Well, I've been through a lot in my life, from being a felon to being a drug addict to, and my situation is not, it's not normal like a lot of people, because a lot of guys that and ladies that are addicts, they can't touch anything. One thing leads to another thing leads to another thing. And that's not how it works for me. I mean, I have no desire to do meth. I have no desire to do cocaine. The only thing I've never done is heroin. And that's not really true. I've done the pharmaceutical form of heroin, but I've never done street heroin like shot up. Never shot up anything in my life. I looked at that as like, oh, well, that's Skid Row. If you're doing that, then your life is I'm better than that because I smoke it or I snort it. Well, whatever it is, whatever dumbass shit that convince yourself of so it makes it okay. I've been addicted to GHB. I've done ketamine. I've done mushrooms. I've done LSD one time. It was a terrible trip. Never did it again. Although I wouldn't object to having, I wouldn't object to using psilocybin in a therapeutic manner or ecstasy. I've done ecstasy. I've sold plenty of it. I used to be a raver. Spent a lot of times in the rave culture in the Bay Area. There's just, I think that I have a good knowledge of myself, why I've done some of the things that I've done, and I want to hear from other people that have been through some of the same, sort of situations. Have you been incarcerated? Have you been an addict? Have you, dealt with anger issues? Did you come from a broken home, a split family? Were you a latchkey kid? How was your life? How did you get through it? And this isn't going to be just a podcast about, how to get through down times in your life or bottoms. I've hit 3 bottoms in my life and they've been significantly life changing and I've managed to get through them. So that's, I want to just be able to talk to people about that. I want to talk to other people that have been through bottoms in their lives and how do you get through it? My interests, I have a wide range of interests and I'm going to talk about all those. I love animals. I love dogs. I have a beautiful charcoal Labrador retriever. His name's Riley. And that little shit has imprinted on me like no other dog has. And he's like my best friend. Never had a connection to an animal quite like that. I RV. I crab fish every year. Dungeness up in Bodega Bay. Talk about that. Just I have a wide variety of things that I enjoy and things that I do. I'm a licensed drone pilot. I have a business, kind of a business. I'm not very smart when it comes. Well, it's not that I'm not smart. I'm just not educated in business and how to run a business. And what makes me my money is kind of what I have to focus on right now. What I found by trying to start my own business is that marketing takes up a lot of time. And if you don't have the time to market yourself or your business or your product, it's not going to get out to many people. And so I found that out the hard way. But I mean, I still have it. So I mean, I have an idea for it still. I'm not ready to toss the towel in quite yet. But the podcasting thing is, to me, podcasts are amazing. I've never experienced content quite the way that podcasting touches me when I'm listening to them. I work by myself in construction, so 8 hours a day I have earplugs or earphones in one ear, and I'm listening and working. And so I feel like I'm a fly on the wall of a conversation, of amazing people. I mean, Rogan, if you've listened to him, he's a good guy, but I mean, just anything that I've listened to, it just changes it immensely just by having it in my ear. And it feels more intimate. It feels like I'm a part of the conversation, and I absorb it way more and more intensely. And so I want to be a part of that. I have a lot to say, and I have a lot of experience in life and life lessons. And I just want to be able to bring that to people, and I want to talk to other people that have like interests and figure it out. Life is definitely a trip. My life has been a trip. I've got tons of stories of all the crazy crap I've done. And I don't think that it's helped to shape who I am. But, what keeps me from going back to that life is risk versus reward. And I think what kept me in that life was exactly that, risk versus reward. Up until, I got my career and changed everything, I wasn't risking a whole lot because I didn't have a whole lot. So, yeah, sure. Yeah, that sounds great. Not to mention that when you're doing methamphetamine, what sounds like a great idea when you haven't slept for fucking 3 days, when you get sleep and you revisit it, you realize that, dude, that was a horrible idea. So, there was a lot of a risk that I was willing to take because I didn't have a whole lot to lose. I didn't have anything. Didn't have a job. Didn't have a career. Didn't have, anything other than the fact that I was selling drugs, and I wasn't even really a good drug dealer. I was a break-even drug dealer, so I would leave, and I'd probably be owing people tons of money, and so I just move. Or I was just cool with them, and they just allowed me. All right, well, just give me what you can, and kind of codependently allowed me to stay stuck in my rut. So fast forward to today, I have a lot to lose, and just maturity in itself plays a big part in a lot of that. Most men, women mature faster than men for sure. For me, I didn't mature until I was like 35, 36, 37. I'm 45 now, and I definitely feel like I'm behind, especially people that I went to high school with. They're all they have homes, houses, whatnot. I don't have any of that. I live with a roommate that rented me a room, and they live close by my daughter. And so I'm basically having to start over, which sucks. But at least I'm not starting over with nothing. I'm starting over with, you know, possessions. I have a 40-foot fifth wheel that, I lived in last year, probably most of last year, or at least a year since I got it. So I've gotten plenty of use out of it. And it was, it's a nice one. It's definitely one that you could be living full time in for a year plus. It was, to me, it's too small. It's something great to do for a week, 2 weeks max. But to live in full time, it's just, and with a kid, there's no way. So yeah, I love water sports. I live by the Delta, so I jet ski all the time. Have a couple of those. Fifth wheel. I think this year I'm going to try and take kiteboarding lessons, so that'll be fun. So my mission is basically going to be talking to people who have been through situations similar to mine, or whatever kind of bottom you have